It's Jelly Too Fly, TOOFLY. Definitely consent to this. Let's do it.
So the first question is, do you think there's services out there, throughout Toronto, that deal with trauma as well as difficult circumstances?
I feel like more nowadays it's coming up more as opposed to maybe like, let's say 10 years ago when I was in high school type stuff. I think there should be more of an outlet to just go to, you know what I mean, as opposed to you got to sign up, you got to be a member, you got to, there's too many, I think, obligations and prerequisites that kids feel they need to have, or, even when they're dealing with the issues at home, they feel like, there's too many things they got to have, you know what I mean, in order to be accepted in a certain group or a certain area, or, you know what I mean? So I feel like, nowadays, yes, more opportunities are presenting themselves. However, I feel like there should be more outlets as opposed to just a building for kids to go to. I think there should be more of a outlet, like any time of night. I need somebody, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's what's needed in order, because when it's nighttime and after hours and things close down, that's when, they're like, okay, I'm gonna go hang on the block and I'm gonna go chill with my dudes, and then that's when they get caught up. So I feel like, yes, there are more, but there needs to be more we care, as opposed to this is just an organization, and you know what I mean, it has to be more like we care, and you can call me anytime. Like when I do workshops, I make sure my email's there for them anytime of night, and up to now I answer. They hit me up 2 in the morning. You got to answer, because they need it, they need it. So yeah, I feel like there is more, but there should be more real, you know what I mean? Like we feel what you actually saying. It's not like a educational type of thing. It's not like a school or you know what I mean? Like that's what they try to go away from. That's what they stray from. When you come at them and you put them on a level where we're trying to teach you. But if you come at a level where it's like, we understand what you're going through, we understand the pressures that you're dealing with at home. It could be a 14-year-old kid, but that's like the breadwinner of the home. You know what I mean? And it's like, how does that happen? But I feel like more outlets for that, just real life situations, it'll be good. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of education, do you think that youth today are equipped with the skills they need, or do you think that they don't have the life skills, they don't have the foundation?
Are we talking about like school?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I graduated high school, but that was because it was something I felt like I needed to do that, because I needed to do that, and I moved out of the city to do that, you know what I mean? So I didn't even, if I stayed, where I was in the environment I was in, I probably would have been expelled, suspended, and all of that. But that was me as an individual. But I feel like, schools here in general need to more so look at, okay, it's not just a book that teaches these kids. It's not just your curriculum. You know what I mean? Like, they come to school and they sit in a classroom. They're looking at you for 8 hours or however long they're looking at you, and they're looking at you to teach them about life in general. You know what I mean? Like, they understand they're coming to school to learn from a book, but teach them something on the side. Like, let them know that, nah, this is not cool. Like, you see them doing something in class, a lot of teachers tend to just be real passive with that. And I'm getting a check anyway, so what these kids do in this class doesn't even apply to me. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's really what it is, not taking the extra step. I feel like a lot of teachers, there's only those few that you find in schools that really put their heart out to the kids and really want to see them thrive in life and go forward. The whole education thing, I feel like they need to break down that curriculum and put in some real life, I had the opportunity of going to Africa with Stolen from Africa people, and with Logic and Alana, and we went out there, and it was like the stuff I learned even doing that project, knowing that Canada has so much history in itself, dealing with our ancestors and you know what I mean, and slavery and all of that, and I didn't even know, and I was going to school here for the longest time, you know what I mean? So it's like, why didn't I learn that in history class? Like, what were you teaching me? Yeah, two hours out of here is where the first settlement was for for slaves to be free. I didn't know that in Owen Sound, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that, and I went to school here. So it's like, how come I didn't learn that? Why there's certain things that you're not showing us, and if we know that that stuff is so close to home, maybe we'll pay attention to it more. You know what I mean? Maybe it will be relevant. You know what I mean? So I feel like the education system needs to break the curriculum down and understand that it's about the books, but real life is not books. You know, real life is not books at all. It's not.
The next question is, do you feel that youth are actively engaged in the political system?
Not at all.
What can be done?
Not at all. Not at all. That's why we have Ford running this. Not at all. You know what I mean? Like we get what we ask for. If our own people in our own communities, you know, if there's dudes on the block, let's say, that show no interest, and these are the bigger mans of the block, who you have growing up after you is not going to show no interest. You know what I mean? So a lot of these, you know, people, you know, a lot of people in the community talk about, you know, we run this and we run that, but really we look like the idiots talking about that because we're not running nothing. Really, we're trapped in this system that they have us in. You know what I mean? So with the politics in the city, I feel like it has to be more even like an outlet again. You know what I mean? Outlets like that teach real life. You come in here, we're teaching real stuff about sex, drugs, politics. You know what I mean? Like they don't have real sex education classes in school. They don't have that. They don't have real politics classes in school. They have civics and whatever, the economics and stuff like that, but that's books. Once again, that's books. That's not a teacher saying, hey, what's going on in our city? Let's talk about that. How do you guys feel about what's on the news today? You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about real life, like what's going on in our city, and let's make it relevant to what I'm teaching you today. You know what I mean? And let's put together the book and real life situation. So I feel like politics, no, kids nowadays is not in it, and that's why we're suffering. That's why programs are gone. That's why, you know, we will in schools, our athletic programs are going. That's why rehabilitation programs are going. They're building more jails than schools nowadays. You know what I mean? And people aren't aware of that, and they're not looking at that. They're not looking at now. They're looking at the percentage of how many dropouts are in high schools, and then building jail cells to say, okay, I already know you coming here, so this is what we gonna put you right here. We building this cell just for you. You know, and I feel like if everybody in the community really came together to say, okay, listen, man, like here's a real class. You get snacks, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But here's a real class. Like, here, let's talk about this. Like, you know what I mean? And have stuff like that. Then I think kids will be more interested in it. You know what I mean? But if it's like teaching them history about slavery and saying this is in 1980, like, you know what I mean? Like 1780 and this is that. And you understand what I'm saying? As opposed to doing something like real life. Like, what are we going through nowadays that have us still trapped in this mind slavery, this, you know what I mean? Like, what is our oppressions nowadays? What keep us down nowadays? Not the white man blaming us and having us captured and this is that back in the day. No, what's keeping us captive today? You know what I mean? Like, what has us today? Like, that's what we got to do.
Do you mind if I ask something to what you
Yeah,
just
go
said?
ahead, go ahead.
How do you think media is connected to what you just said?
Oh man, the media is connected deeply, and they don't do nothing about it though. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like the media, well, everybody knows TV is just to show you what they want to show you. It's a perception. This is what it is, right? So I don't watch TV at all unless it's the news, and that's real. Like, you know what I mean? So movies is my thing because documentaries, all of that. The media, it comes in and it says, okay, no, I know at a certain time from about 3 o'clock to about 9 o'clock. That's when kids are gonna be deep in it, and that's when they show all that even on cartoons, you seeing things. You know what I mean? Like, and it's ridiculous. So it's like, again, it has to do with your environment and who's around you and your surroundings and the parents. You know what I mean? Like, cool. If you was a young parent, no problem. But now you're not young. Don't treat your kids like you still a young parent. You understand what I'm saying? Don't raise them to say, okay, yo, listen, I'm cool, so you could be cool and you could do whatever you want to do. Nah, because then after a while, they're going to look at you and blame you for all of that because it's like, you should have set that foundation. Instead, you had me wrapped up in television, wrapped up in, you know what I mean, going out, not caring about really what's going on, right? And with the media, it's like, internet is like, once they log off, they back into reality, right? And the media is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you know what I mean? All those social outlets for these kids to be caught up in a world, and then once they clock out, once organizations close, once everything is said and done, they back into real life. And that's what that's what anybody in this world, that's what kids in this generation need to understand. This is like a real life thing. We only got one time to live it, and that's being cliche, but it's real life. You feel me? So it's like, why not want to be better? Like, it's the 4 walls and the 4 townhouse blocks, buildings that the hood is surrounded by is so much more to that. And they feel like that's it. This is all I'ma see. Downtown is the excitement of my, yo, you have the whole world. And that's what we fail to teach them. That's what we fail to tell them. Like, you know what I mean? We keep them here, and that's how I feel. I feel even, you know what I mean? Even me, sometimes if I feel like I don't say something like something specific to a certain youth, or you know what I mean, be like, listen, you could do this, you could do that. I lost that opportunity because they're going back home to understand that the hood is all they know, right? So. And we got to get out of that black mind. Like, being black is not skin. You know what I mean? It's negativity. It's that mentality. It's keeping yourself in this box that was planned for us to stay in. You know what I mean? And we just don't want to stretch out and say, let me get up out this. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And if we don't get up out of it, it's because we lazy. We don't want to see what's up. And we're scared to face it. And that's why I do what I do. That's why, you know, it's deeper than rap. It's more so the respect that women deserve, number one, you know what I mean? Any color, creed, anything, orientation, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? And they say it's a man's world, but I feel like it's a woman's world, because without a woman, you can't do nothing. You know what I mean? And that's what, you know what I mean? So the struggles that women bear every day, I do what I do for that. You know, and I feel like the dudes that come out here and say, yeah, they run this, run that, they should take 15 kids from the hood and go do something and teach them something good so they could actually run something, not run a corner. And that's real life, man, because that don't get you nowhere forever, man. And that's for real. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Last question?
Yeah. I know I talk a lot, man. I'm just
The last question is the community you live in.
Say that again?
The community that you live in?
Yeah.
Do you feel safe? And if you feel safe in your community, what has made you feel safe?
I mean, I don't hold anything back, you know, and anybody that knows me, the community I live in, I was robbed like 2 years ago, right? Ran up in my house, took everything, you know, and cool. Because at the end of the day, I'm still good. You know, as a person, I know that, you know, first of all, it's all guys that, you know, you came and invaded a woman's privacy. So that already I look at that like, you know what, I'm already that powerful for you to even feel like whatever, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's in every community, anybody that's an individual deals with that. Anybody that's their own being, I feel, doesn't feel safe dealing with what we deal with nowadays. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's more so like how I keep myself safe is just demand the respect that I think I deserve, right? Keep my head up. Somebody's looking at me, I'm looking at you. How you doing? I don't have no issues with you. That's what people, you know, somebody staring at you, they probably trying to figure out what kind of person you are. They probably trying to say, oh, yo, that person's probably dope as hell. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. And it took me a while to understand that, because I get stared at every day. I walk out my house, it's judging till the time I go back inside. You understand what I'm saying? I'm judged. I'm a statement. So with that, it's like, okay, now, how do I empower myself to say, I'm a statement, but I'm also just an individual, like this person walking here, this person walking there, that person walking there. So how do I make myself feel safe? I'm content with who I am. I'm good. You know what I mean? And I don't look at anybody to start judging me. I already know what's going on. You know what I mean? That's how human beings react. So why am I gonna, you know what I mean? And that's what causes a lot of conflict, right? It's because people take the wrong misjudgment. People look at other people and it's like, this person has no right to look at me. But listen, man, anybody could stare at you, anybody could look at you, anybody could do whatever they want to you, but it's just a matter of that respect. So if they staring at you and they not saying nothing to you, they still have that respect. Because they could say a whole lot, right? You understand? So that's how I look at it. So, I mean, no, I don't feel safe anywhere. I don't even take public transit, and that's real. I haven't taken that in 3-4 years. And that's because I get approached all the time. On a negative level. Sometimes it's positive. Well, nowadays it's positive, but on a negative level. So what do? I have to find ways to cope with that. You know, I'm not going to put myself into certain situations. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? So there's just certain things. That's what comes with the triggers. You know what I mean? And everything else that youth nowadays go through. They go through things at school with the pressures and, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's all about knowing yourself, being content with who you are, understanding you as an individual, not who your friend is, not who, you know what I mean? Knowing you and knowing who you are as an individual, and then just being cool with that. Because once you're not cool with that, then nobody else is going to be cool with you. You understand what I'm saying? And you won't get that respect that you deserve, right? So that's what I do. You know, I'm jelly, and I keep it that way, and I respect everybody that respects me, man. And even if you don't, I still respect it, man. Because, look, everybody's living, man. That's it. That's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Just try to wake up and have a change. Don't look for the same thing. That's it. You good? Check me out, man. That's it. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you. good.
was
Thank
great,
you.
eh?
Yeah, no, she was good.